Hello, it's Victor Dadash. I hope you're having a great day. Today I want to talk about the success principles by Jack Canfield and principle number 26, which is acknowledge your positive past. Now the truth is, more people tend to remember their failures more than their successes. And the truth is, most people have a lot more successes than they do failures. So why do people tend to remember their failures more? Well, one reason is what is called the leave them alone pounce approach, which is used often in parenting, teaching, and management. So for example, when you were a little kid, your parents would often leave you alone to play, and as long as you didn't do anything bad, they left you alone. But once you did something wrong, they pounced you, they started yelling at you for doing something so stupid. And when you were in school, all the questions you got correct on an exam, no marks were made. But for every question you got wrong, you would often get a big red X. Or when you were playing sports, when you were playing football, when you did everything right, nothing was said to you. But when you dropped the pass, you were yelled at for dropping the pass. Or maybe you were yelled at for making an error in baseball, but were not acknowledged for the good things you did while playing baseball. So, and in business, when you're working at a job, when you do everything right, maybe occasionally you might get a good job, but you're not really acknowledged for all the great things you do. But once you make a mistake, you get yelled at by your boss for doing something so stupid. So as a result of all these things that are done to us over the course of our lives, we tend to think we're failures because the mind tends to remember the things where strong emotions are attached to it. And many of the good things we've done, we tend to not remember. And as a result of that, we tend to have low self-esteem because these things have a big impact on your self-esteem. You can think of it this way. Say you're playing against me. You have 10 poker chips and I have 200 poker chips. Who's going to play more conservatively and who will take more risk? Obviously, you're going to be more conservative because you only have 10 chips to play with. And I have 200 chips to play with, so I will be able to take more risk. You can only afford to play 2 rounds where you can bet 5 chips and lose. I can afford to play 40 rounds where I bet 5 chips and lose before I'm out of money. So I can afford to take more risks because I have a lot more poker chips. And the same thing applies to your self-esteem. So it's very important to realize you have a lot more successes than failures. It's just, you just never realized it. So one thing to do is to make a list of all the things that you've been successful in throughout your life. Think about the fact you graduated from elementary school, you graduated middle school, you graduated from high school, maybe you graduated from college. The day you got married, that's a success. The day you had your first kid, that's a success. The day you learned how to ride a bike, that's a success. The day you learned how to swim, that's a success. The day you got your driver's license, that's a success. And you can go on and on. The day you got 100 on an exam, or you got an A in a course, those are successes. So write a list of 100 successes you've had throughout your life and take some time, and you will find as you really think about it, you have a lot of successes in your life, and it's now important to acknowledge those successes. When you go to a doctor's office, you'll see a bunch of degrees this doctor has earned, and that's an acknowledgement of some of the successes he's had. So you might want to put up some successes you've had in your room. So if you've gotten any kind of awards, put them up. Any kind of success you have, put it up so you can see it, so you can be reminded of those successes. Another thing you might want to do is something called the mirror exercise. And what that means is, before you go to bed, go to the mirror in your bathroom and acknowledge yourself for the great things you've done today. So I might say, Victor, I want to acknowledge you for the fact that you worked very hard today, you finished your project, you took some time to spend with your family, you called up a friend and the friend was very depressed and you made them feel better by talking to that person. And you can come up with some other things. And at the end, after you acknowledge all the things you've done that were good that day, you say to yourself, I love you. So I would say at the end, I love you, Victor. And this has a great effect on your self-esteem and belief in yourself. You do this every day consistently, you're going to start feeling better about yourself, you're going to feel more of a success, and you're going to do better things, and you'll be more successful in life. So again, remember, acknowledge your positive past. You do that on a consistent basis, you'll have a better, more productive, more successful life. So those are my tips for today. I hope you got a lot of value. If you did, like and comment below and subscribe to my channel below. This is Victor Dadash signing off. Have a wonderful day.